All right. Good morning, folks. Today I'm going to do a quick little video about how to use the Epson scanners that we have in the theory classroom, and I know Mr. Fontaine has them as well. And these kind of come in handy for different things. If you have a piece of artwork or something you've drawn that you want to scan in, this little piece of equipment gives you an opportunity to do that. Obviously, you can scan photographs and stuff like that as well. And the example I'm going to do for you guys today is I'm going to show you how to scan a photograph. Okay, and I'll give you the tips of other things that you can do while you're in the scanner. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is you go to the desktop here and you're going to click on the Epson scan. You have to make sure the scanner is on, and you double click on it. It gives you this menu. It automatically will pick this V600, which is the model we have. You say, okay. The reason the other ones are there, those are older models, and for some reason it hung on to that software. So this is the menu that's going to come up. And right before, I actually might have even done this, or even right now, what I would have done is I would put my image that I'm going to scan onto the glass of the scanner. So you're going to put it face down. Typically what I do is I put it up in the top right-hand corner. There's two arrows there, and that's usually where I'll position my piece of artwork. Again, it doesn't matter if it's a photograph or a piece of artwork. So there are a couple of different settings up here. You can do a full auto mode, home mode, office, or professional. I leave it set to professional because it gives you some additional options of things that you can do. So that's kind of where I leave it for the thing. Current settings is basically how it's set right now. All right, it's what it's doing. The document type right here, it gives you a couple options. It's either reflective or film. Reflective is anything that's printed, I guess. So it could be a drawing, could be something out of a magazine, or it could be a picture. All right. And in my case, I'm using a picture. Film would be anything that would be considered like a negative. A negative is something that we get out of an old school camera. Okay. So I am a reflective. Document source is the table, which is where the image sits. Auto exposure, it says document. This is a photo, so I'm going to change that. Image type, this gives you the options of color, black and white, stuff like that. If you're doing a grayscale, that would be for like a black and white photograph. Black and white means if you had just something, just as it sounds, if you drew something in pencil or a marker, that's considered black and white. I'm going to go with 48-bit color because it's the highest scanning capability we have here. And then I'm going to go up to 300 DPI. That's kind of what I use all the time as a go-to for the resolution. Pretty much when I scan just about anything, I just leave it set there. Document size, that's going to be kind of automatic. Target size, I leave this, and I always want to do it at 100%. There are some things in here that you can go around and adjust color and some other things. But I don't usually do that. This unshot masking when you're doing a photograph is a good thing to have clicked on. This descreening, if you are scanning something out of a magazine, you're going to want to select that because a magazine is pre-print, something that's printed. And if you don't hit that descreening, sometimes what happens is you pick up the dot pattern when you scan them. All right. So first thing I'm going to do after I go through all my settings, do all my things here, I hit the preview button. And what it's going to do is it's going to do a preview scan for you to kind of give you an idea. That's kind of weird. How come I don't see my preview? Well, let's try this again. There should be an image there. Oops, sorry. Aha. Hold on. It's not good. Might have to do this again. Helps if you put the picture on there. I thought I had it on there from yesterday. So I'm going to not do that. So it only got a part of it, so I'm going to cancel this. Say okay. And I'm going to do a preview again. So if you make a mistake, you can always hit the preview button again. You don't have to save it. So there's the image. Now the thing that I do is I always go and I crop. So in this case here, I'm going to go from the back, this corner, because I only need to scan this. That's all I need to scan. All right. So once I highlight that, that's what I want to scan. The scanner is only going to look for that stuff only, and that's it. So when I do that, I hit scan, and it's going to bring up this window for you. So here I'm gonna identify this, and I'm gonna just that's a hockey player happens to be Ray Bork, Boston Bruin guy I used to watch. If you're doing consecutive images, you can set this and it'll calculate or keep track of them for you. You also have the ability here to save it as a JPEG, a PDF, or a TIFF. Those are the print ones I would probably recommend. Um, and so I'm going to pick JPEG. And then right now it's set to go to my desktop. But if you wanted to put it someplace else, you would just click the browse button, and it would give you an option here to select a folder that hopefully you would have set up for a project. So if you were doing a project and you were doing scans, I would say you're gonna save all your scanned images into the folder. Okay, so I just cancel that. For me, I'm just gonna leave it on the desktop. All right, once you have all this done, you just say okay, and it's now gonna go through the scanning process. The window will pop up, and it'll give you a progress of how this thing will scan. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the scan is going, boom, it's done. That's it. And because I told it I wanted it on my desktop, it's going to open up the desktop, or it'll open location of where you want it. And if we scroll down here, it should be in here somewhere. Oh, it's right there. Ray Bork. That's the photo we just did. Okay? And I'm going to close that. And that's it. That's how you do a scan. When you're done, you just click here. It's going to say current preview image is going to be erased. You say okay. And then you're just going to close out the program. That's it. That's how you use the scanners, folks. And as you can see there, because I did say I wanted it on my desktop, there's the photo right there in the bottom left-hand corner. And that's all. If you have any questions, as usual, please let me know. Talk to you soon.